Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Germain Toyota of Sarasota's Friday Football Fever. I'm Jim Spiewak, filling in for Adam Shadoff, who has the night off. And as always, we'll start things off with our game of the week. #1 nationally ranked Manatee taking on Southeast in the Great American Rivalry Series. As the players take the field here, and Manatee's Cord Sandberg passes to Trayvon Walters up the middle there. Trying to get him down, takes it all the way down inside the 10. The Canes are fired up at this point early on. Sandberg now out of the gun, takes it himself to the right on the keeper, and he's in for an early 6-0 lead. Canes tack on the extra point. They're up 7-0 early on. Later in the quarter, Sandberg again to Walters, making it look easy at this point. Walters taking it all the way, just shy. Canes punch it in there, 14-0. A little later in the quarter, Southeast QB Bryles Braxton Johnson on the huge rush, picking up a big chunk of yardage there out of bounds along the sidelines. And cutting into the Canes deficit is Courtney Allen on the touchdown. Extra point is actually no good at this point, but he is gone. Canes are up 14-6 at this point. Big rivalry game. Later in the second quarter, Sandberg with another completion, and this time to Markel Hines, and he's almost gone. I'll tell you what, the Canes had the area assault going tonight. And later in the drive, Sandberg is finishing this one off with an easy 1-yard touchdown run. You can see now why the Canes are nationally ranked #1. And a little trickery here, taking it around to the right-hand side, Hines taking the ball all the way down to the 20, but Southeast defense holding Manatee to a field goal at this point, putting the Canes up 24-6. And I'll tell you what, the Canes went on to roll easily in this one. And as always, we're now joined by SNN local news sports reporter Amber Stidham. And Amber, right from the get-go, it looked like the Canes just had it under control tonight.
Absolutely. And Jim, as you mentioned, you can see why they are the #1 team in the nation. Things got started off very soon for the Hurricanes tonight. Their quarterback, Cord Sandberg, proved once again why he is a threat with both his feet and his arms. The Mississippi State commit was throwing touchdowns, running for touchdowns, really had an impressive performance. In fact, in the first half alone, Manatee scored on every single offensive drive. That's a pretty huge stat for them. Yeah. We caught up with head coach Joe Canaan after the game and talked about his quarterback's performance.
He's always steady. We know he's going to get the job done. A very accurate passer, and I think the first half we scored every possession. We ran like 45 plays. We had 2 field goals, and the rest of them were touchdowns.
Now, this was a huge rivalry game, as you mentioned. They don't call it the Great American Rivalry Series for nothing. Right. And, you know, it's something that the Manatee seniors can brag about. They've now gone 4 for 4 against Southeast.
There they go. They look pretty unstoppable at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Amber, thanks so much. All right, well, we're going to continue our coverage now. How would Venice respond after a tough road loss from last week? They're hosting the Lehigh Lightning. And we'll pick this one right up in the second quarter, where Lehigh QB Vontae White passes to David Desmalari for a first down. And still in the second quarter here, Venice QB Terry Polk running at 35 yards for the first down. A nice pickup there. And in the third quarter now, Venice QB Yancey, he passes to Tyler McKenzie for the first down. Nice play there. And then Yancey dumping it off right here up the middle for a first down. Venice moving the ball pretty much very easily here, and Venice running back Terry Polk, he takes it in for the touchdown. Touchdown Venice, let those cannons roar. Still in the third quarter, Lehigh QB White passes to Jesse Lostwar for a first down, and Venice, they're going to go on to win this one pretty easily, 35-14. We'll take a look now at the Booker Tornadoes versus Clewiston Tigers. Booker having a tough go tonight, and they lost 42-18 on the road. Well, state-ranked Palmetto took a short trip over to Lakewood Ranch to play the Mustangs, as they were all fired up tonight. And things started off with a 12-yard pass from QB Chad Rex to tight end Wyatt McLeod, taking things all the way down to the 1. Close there. But on the very next play, running back Chris Percy, he fumbles on the 1-yard line, and it was recovered by Palmetto, shifting the momentum over to the Tigers. Players there, and Palmetto finds out that they now have the ball, but it didn't last for long. On the ensuing drive, Palmetto QB Chris Tutton, he throws a pick 6 to Wanley Desiree, 7-0 Lakewood Ranch there. And they're all excited. Palmetto ties things up though here with a nice 15-yard TD run by Leon Gilbert. He takes it to the house, and Palmetto went on to win this one pretty easily in the end, 43-7. Well, Lemon Bay versus St. Pete Catholic Barons in the first quarter. The Barons, Tony Jones is on an 85-yard touchdown run, and I'll tell you what, no one is catching up to him at this point. Untouched pretty much from the get-go. Number 3, Speedy there into the end zone. Still in the first quarter, the Manta Rays, Austin Hershey, he's on a 60-yard run of his own. And he steps out of bounds right there at the 10-yard line, close to a touchdown. On the very next play, Hershey, he fumbles, and Brandon Slater of the Barons, he's recovering that one. But there's redemption for Hershey and the Manta Rays. He gets loose for a 40-yard touchdown. He is gone. Again, these kids are speedy out there. And the last score that we updated, this one is actually still going on right now, is 42-42 late in the fourth quarter. All right, well, we're going to huddle up for a bit, but there's plenty more to come. Still got to show you how the Tarpons did at home again, plus Northport is at home, Port Charlotte on the road, and much more on Germain Toyota of Sarasota's Friday Football Fever coming up.
You're watching Germain Toyota Friday Football Fever on SNN Local News.
Well, welcome back to the Germain Toyota of Sarasota's Friday Football Fever Show. Let's jump right back into the action. Cardinal Mooney was coming off a road loss, looking for a home win tonight, hosting Clearwater Central Catholic, and it had to be tough playing out there. There was no operating scoreboard, but that was the case tonight. On the first play of the game, Cardinal Mooney completed a 30-yard pass to Elijah Toussaint, but that's about all the offense Cardinal Mooney could muster up in the first half. Clearwater controlled much of the play, and on the first possession, QB Blake Gomez dumps off a little screen pass to senior Trey Larry and takes it 80 yards all the way home. 7-0 Marauders. We're going to go ahead and fast forward now to the second quarter. The Marauders added a 42-yard field goal off the foot of Yanni Ramos, and that made the score 10-0 Triple C. And if there was a bright spot for Cardinal Mooney, it was on a special teams blocked punt. But the Marauders went on to take this one, and the final score was 17-7 Clearwater Central Catholic. And we head down south onto Charlotte and Tarpon Stadium, where the Tarpons took on Fort Myers, and we pick up the action early in the first quarter, where TJ Morgan is on an end around, taking it all the way to the left and all the way down the sideline. 7-0 Fort Myers there. Nice run. Charlotte was unable to get anything going offensively, but did complete a nice pass and catch to wide receiver Dwayne Reynolds for a nice pickup. And Charlotte finished off this drive with a chip shot field goal, making it 7-3 Fort Myers. In the second quarter, on a keeper that fooled everyone, even our cameraman, Fort Myers QB TJ Douglas is slicing and dicing his way all the way to the end zone. A great TD run there. He is gone. And Fort Myers was all over Charlotte tonight and took this one with the final. Well, the St. Pete Canterbury Crusaders took on the Bradenton Christian Panthers, and the Panthers came away with a 14-point victory, beating Canterbury by a final of 28-14. And it's the Pirate Bowl. Port Charlotte visiting Braden River. A little homecoming queen wave there for you. And we start off with an 18-yard pass from Braden River QB Eric Shabaker to running back Austin Rain to their own 38-yard line. And now late in the second quarter, Port Charlotte is up 22-7, and Port Charlotte running back Keon Suber takes it up to his own 30-yard line here. And the Panthers came away with a 14-point victory, beating Canterbury by a final of 28-14. And out of Door Academy, they took a close one, which went into overtime, 40-37 over Evangelical Christian. And the DeSoto Bulldogs, they're taking on Northport. 0-0 in the first quarter. And Northport QB Trent White, he kept it himself on the sneak here, trying to get a couple yards there around the end. And now going to the air, White passes to Cody Jansky for a nice gain. But this game was all about the weather, with lightning strikes and empty stands. But the game was delayed for weather for about an hour. And then after play resumed, the first play from scrimmage was Northport QB Trent White. He fumbled the snap, and that one's recovered by DeSoto. Now on to the second quarter. DeSoto's Reginald Jones. He's under center, and he pitches to Terrell Gordon, but he fails to convert on this third down. And on that drive, Northport gave up 30 yards in penalties, but Northport went on to win this one, 28-17. And the Bayshore Bruins, they played Fort Myers Cypress Lake Panthers, and Bayshore took this one over Cypress Lake in a very easy one, 49-9. Well, when Germain Toyota of Sarasota's Friday Football Fever continues, we'll take a look at some of the games with Herald-Tribune sports writer Doug Fernandez. So, Doug, stick around. We'll be right back.
You're watching Germain Toyota Friday Football Fever on SNN Local News.
Well, welcome back to Germain Toyota of Sarasota's Friday Football Fever. I'm joined now by Herald-Tribune sports writer Doug Fernandez. And Doug, couple games that you want to talk about. You were at the Mooney game tonight.
Mooney game tonight, 17-7 final. You know, a lot of people thought that maybe CCC would be the prohibitive favorite in this game. They really came in scoring 99 points their last 3 games, 3 straight shutouts. Mooney came out and played well defensively. The only problem is they were facing a big defensive line. Reese Vitta was sacked 8 times, 44 yards in rushing and losses. Anthony Carlos held to about 13 yards. Nice defensive performance, but really not enough firepower for Mooney tonight.
And then how about #1 ranked Manatee?
Well, you know, they had a bye week last week, and anytime Southeast plays Manatee, you can throw out the records, you can throw out everything. It's a big rivalry. I wasn't at that game, obviously, but what I heard was that Manatee got off to a slow start, had the bye week last week, then came on and really put the medal to Southeast, which is a little bit of a rebuilding year last year. And when you look at Manatee's schedule going forward, there's really no reason why they shouldn't be able to run the table heading into the playoffs.
They're looking really good.
They're the best team in the area by far.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Doug. And that'll do it for this edition of Friday Football Fever, sponsored by Germain Toyota. Thanks so much for watching. There's more news and weather coming up. Thanks for being with us.